In Australia, over 40,000 men and women are currently behind bars. They've shattered countless lives, destroyed families. Some have been responsible for unspeakable violence.
There are just some people that are just evil of heart.
She's just scary. She's just real scary.
Some people are born with just that evil gene.
If you think you've seen and heard it all, you haven't. The truth of life behind bars in some of Australia's highest security prisons, told by the people who know.
It's dangerous on a daily basis. It's life-threatening.
Stabbings, hangings, people getting their heads stomped on.
If I was dangerous when I went in, I was more dangerous when I came out.
In this episode, you'll meet the girl next door who's covering up a hideous crime.
I think she's evil. Only the darkest of souls could do that to another person.
Sex in prison? You'd better believe it.
It's rampant. It happened every minute of every day.
And the story of one of Australia's most dangerous prisoners, a psychopath responsible for one of the most callous murders of recent times.
He told us that he was going to get somebody when he got out. He said, "You watch what I do." I wish we'd give him hiding for that.
This is Vincent Stanford, once a quietly spoken school cleaner, and now one of Australia's most cold-blooded killers. After the vicious murder of Stephanie Scott, 1 week before her wedding day. These days, he calls this place home. 21 k's west of Sydney, Silverwater is one of Australia's most notorious prisons, having housed some of our most dangerous and despised criminals for the last 50 years. Now he fills his time cleaning walls and floors for $17 a week.
I think Vincent's in the right place. I believe that some people are in a category where they're so dangerous and potentially such a risk to the community that he could kill somebody else. Life means life.
"500 k's and a world away from Silverwater is the town of Leeton in New South Wales. A beautiful little town where everybody pretty much knows everyone. But not long ago, there was a newcomer in town. A 24-year-old loner living with his mum. He worked at the local school as a cleaner, but he had a very dark side. In his spare time, he was spying, stalking, plotting, planning. It was only a matter of time before he would kill.
So Vincent had problems from an early age in that he, even at school, he was noted to be quite asocial, didn't like other people much, and didn't relate to their feelings. He doesn't feel anything.
In total contrast is 26-year-old Stephanie Scott. On Easter Sunday, she was back at school, preparing notes for her relief teacher before going on her honeymoon. But unfortunately, Stephanie was not going to make her honeymoon. She was not going to walk down the aisle. She was not even going to see out the day. Vincent Stanford would make sure of that.
As at April 2015, Vincent Stanford was working as a cleaner at local schools in Leeton. He was cleaning the school on a Sunday, and Stephanie Scott come in preparing to do a handover, and he was cleaning and saw her, and there was opportunity.
New South Wales Police have grave concerns for a woman missing in the state's Riverina region. 26-year-old Stephanie Scott was last seen at Leeton High School on Easter Sunday. The teacher was due to be married this weekend.
I know that she wouldn't have copped the just like bad thoughts now.
Stephanie's loved ones had no idea that just down the road, behind closed doors, Stanford had been planning this opportunity for some time.
He'd ordered a kill kit online the previous week with a knife and cuffs. And it looks like the target was actually his neighbour, a 12-year-old girl who lived next door. Because he'd taken well over 1,000 photos of her, videos, had an exercise book with a name written on it. The word slut was written right throughout the book. So the plan looked to be abducting and killing the neighbour. There were 2 other women he was stalking and following in Leeton around that period. There'd been internet searches on rape fantasies, necro-rape, so having sex with a dead person. He was cleaning and saw her and grabbed her, beat her in the head multiple times. Then the sexual assault took place, and then stabbed her twice in the neck and killed her. Then cleaned up afterwards.
Unbelievably, he'd worked up an appetite, taking a lunch break with a coffee and a cheese sandwich. He later took her body to a national park about 50 kilometres away and set her alight.
And used an accelerant and petrol, with most of the burns being to the groin area. And then took photos and kept her bra. So I guess they're souvenirs.
Police launched a widespread search. Stanford had done a terrible job of getting rid of the evidence, leaving Stephanie's car in an open field, flinging her laptop in the local river, and bizarrely, mailing her precious rings to his twin brother. On the day Stephanie disappeared, Stanford was the only other person seen at the school, so police had him down as their #1 suspect. 3 days after his brutal attack, Vincent returned to the scene of his crime to relive his horrific handiwork. Police set about doing a thorough search of his home, a search that uncovered a school lanyard and keys that matched Stephanie's. During their search, Stanford returned home, calmly telling police he'd been out taking photos. When they looked at what was on the memory card, what they found shocked them to the very core. Coming up next on Australia's Most Dangerous Prisoners, the brutal discovery that left everyone shocked.
Was the body well light when you left, or you didn't take much notice? Or
Yeah, it was well light. Took a second. Petrol starts fast.
"26-year-old schoolteacher Stephanie Scott has been missing for 3 days. Police are searching the home of school cleaner Vincent Stanford, the prime suspect in her disappearance. Stanford's returned home, casually saying he'd been out taking some snaps. But when police look at his camera, what they see stops them in their tracks. What they see is chilling. Pictures of a burned, charred body. Despite his claims that they are pictures from a horror film, they know this is no make-believe. They know the images are sickeningly real.
Behind this blanket is the man police believe killed bride-to-be Stephanie Scott. Vincent Stanford was driven to Griffith Court and was formally refused bail.
The local town was stunned. Things like this just don't happen in Leeton. Now what you're about to see is the most chilling confession police have ever heard.
I picked her up from behind with my right hand over her mouth and my left hand around the middle. I dragged her into the store. I closed the door behind us, shoved her on the floor, and beat her to death.
You say with your fists?
Yes.
Did you use any other weapon?
I did use a knife as well.
Quite unusual to meet people like that just really seem to want to kill for the fun of it. This is really killing because it feels good.
Was the body well light on your left, or you didn't take much notice, or?
Yeah, it was well light. Took a second. Petrol starts fast.
Tells me he's got sadistic killing fantasies and enjoyed it.
Stanford got what was coming to him. He was sentenced to life in jail, with 15 years for aggravated sexual assault for good measure. His twin brother Marcus went down for 18 months for selling Stephanie's rings for a miserable $700.
Your questions, go away.
The rings were melted down and never found. Silverwater Prison has a floating population of around 900 men. It's also a remand prison, with up to 300 prisoners a day going in and out, to court hearings and to other prisons. Stanford doesn't mix with the general prison population. He's doing menial jobs during the day, and at night he's closely monitored in a safe cell, a danger to others and himself. But there's no doubt Stanford's cold-hearted cruelty and sexual deviance make him one of the most infamous prisoners in Australian history. Now, while men's and women's prisons are supposed to punish and rehabilitate, treating mental illness behind bars is difficult, but they're locked up anyway. Former inmate Kat Armstrong has seen this for herself.
I would say 70 to 80% of people sent to prison are suffering from a mental health condition of some type, with minimal support available to them. Prisons are mental health warehouses.
Well, I've got autism stage 2, so for me, the prison system, courts and police, they all have no idea how to deal with someone with a disability or mental illness. They would not have a clue.
Women that go in there with mental health issues, they're dumped in there. I remember a young girl in there that had the mental age of a 13-year-old. She was in there with career criminals, and it's criminal in itself.
We as prison officers are expected to care for these people without being trained.
The majority of women in prison who have a mental health condition of some type are placed on heavy psychoanalysis medications as a form of control.
It doped me up to the point where I was sleeping a lot, I was lethargic, I was just not myself.
I believe they should have therapeutic options of healing, not just being totally bombed out.
So prison has taught me you don't want to go back. You're going to come out of there with mental health conditions if you didn't have them in the first place. It's a place just to throw people that do crime and let them rot.
Now, some prisoners look, well, just like criminals. Odd, shifty, angry. But others look perfectly harmless. The girl next door.
You don't have children yourself, do you?
That big.
That big. Excellent.
Take Angelika Guevara, for example. The 33-year-old mother of two couldn't look more average. Well, looks can be deceiving. She's been convicted for the murder and dismemberment of a defenseless 83-year-old pensioner. She's serving a non-parole period of 32 years. Here at Adelaide Women's Prison, right in the heart of the suburbs. Over 200 other women call this place home from minimum to maximum security, and Angelika was given the longest term for a woman in South Australian history. Guevara's attempts to evade the law and her eventual conviction read more like a Hollywood movie.
I think she's evil. I think only the darkest of souls could do that to another person without a sense of remorse or guilt or shame. She's dangerous.
Coming up next, witness the extraordinary police work that helped convict a cold-blooded murderer.
You're under arrest for the murder of Vonne McGlynn. Okay.
In the Adelaide suburb of Northfield is Adelaide Women's Prison. It's home to around 200 female prisoners, the worst of which, Latvian immigrant Angelika Gavare, sentenced to life for the callous murder of pensioner Vonne McGlynn. Former prisoner officer Jennifer Cashow dealt with Gavare on the very first day of her sentence. What she saw has never been revealed to the outside world, until now.
I remember her coming into the prison, not a tear. Very self-assured, very confident, dangerous. She wanted to make a phone call, and some of the prisoners had also heard that she was coming in. And when they realised they'd seen her on the TV, they approached this area. They were abusing her. They weren't very impressed. There's no glory in murdering an elderly person. She was looked upon as being a bit of a parasite by the other prisoners. She stopped her phone call and we heard shouting, "I'll fucking fight all you. I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of one of you. I'll fucking kill the lot of you." She had no qualms whatsoever. She was not concerned where she was. I've never seen that happen before.
This tragic story begins in December 2008 at the home of 83-year-old Vonne McGlynn, an independent old lady who was well liked among the locals. But when she didn't answer her regular wake-up call from the Red Cross, they knew something was wrong.
Hi, g'day.
Police started knocking on doors, looking for answers, and caught every moment on camera.
Just to let you know, obviously, on every time we talk to you.
Which brought them face to face with a woman living just round the corner.
How you going, Angelika?
Angelika Gavare.
Got a minute to talk? We're still looking. We haven't heard from Vonne at all. We just can't find it.
Yeah.
So obviously we're quite concerned about it.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that you might be able to give us something that will help us find where she is, where she may be.
I have no clue. That's what I keep asking myself as well, where she could be.
Gavare had recently been seen at Vonne's house, so they seemed like friends. According to Gavare, Vonne had packed her bags and gone on holiday. Just the first of many, many lies.
Did she say when she was going away?
Well, that's the funny thing, she didn't.
She didn't tell you when?
Yeah.
Did she say where she was going?
No, she didn't mention anything at all, where she's going away to.
But police knew more about Gavare than they were letting on. They'd been informed that 5 days after Vonne went missing, Gavare had tried to take cash out of Vonne's account. Not only that, she was clutching Vonne's power of attorney, which was completely fake.
It strikes me as quite odd that a lady that goes to the bank very regularly and knows how much money she's got and is quite with it, would then just decide to hand over her credit card and say, get out what you need. Sorry?
Savings, not credit.
Savings.
Gavare had a history of small-time credit card fraud, so the police were more than a little suspicious. But what they didn't know yet was that they were about to uncover a crime that would shock even the most hardened detectives.
83-year-old Vonne McGlynn was last spotted by neighbours on the 3rd of December, pottering in the front yard of her Summerfield Avenue home. She hasn't been seen since, and while detectives say there are no obvious signs of foul play, it's one scenario they're considering.
We would like to know where Von McGlynn is. What has happened to Von McGlynn? I don't think Von McGlynn has walked off by herself. You know she has not walked off by herself. I can see that, you know.
Police knew they were onto something. They just had to ask the right questions.
How much did you intend to remove from a bank account? Did Von give you the documents to fill out, or did you have them with you and you filled them out and gave it to Von? We know that you had no keys.
Yeah.
We know that you had a power of attorney document that was forged.
Yeah.
There's all food in the fridge as well. We're just going to go away for a month.
Police seized Gavare's laptop that revealed an obsession with crime.
What other things do you look at?
What other things? You know, why are you asking?
Because I want you to tell me what you look at.
Because I have so many things that I don't even know.
Have you ever Googled things about forensics?
Forensics? No, I don't think so.
What about DNA?
DNA? No, I don't think so.
From my examination of what you look at, you've got a very healthy interest in things to do with murder.
Really?
It was a game of cat and mouse, but police were running out of patience. It was time for action. So police launched search teams into Vonne's and Gavare's homes.
Oh, can it wait for other time?
Unfortunately not. This page in particular is some writing it.
Okay.
Bottom paragraph.
Then they finally found the smoking gun they were looking for.
I'll read it out loud to the camera. The last paragraph of this note states, I deeply regret what I've done in the last month and hope for freedom and being with my children and part of a new life.
But the real gold was right under their nose. Up next, Angelica finally tells the truth.
She laughed about the blood splattering and dismemberment, and the biggest thing that she said to these women was they will never find the head and the hands.
And what it's really like in an all-women's prison.
You know, when it comes to women in prison, sex, it's rampant. It happened every minute of every day.
It's not looking good for young mum Angelica Gavare. On the hunt for the missing pensioner, Vonne McGlynn, police have found a crucial piece of the puzzle.
Is this your table?
Yes, it is.
Yes. And can you tell me where you got the table from?
From the garage sale.
This was yet another lie. You see, police knew that this table exactly matched the nest of Balinese tables in Vonne's house. Gavare's story was slowly falling apart.
And for someone who's just been told that they're a suspect for murder, you're not overly surprised.
The trouble was, police only had suspicions. They had no body. But on the 23rd of February 2009, that was all about to change.
A black garbage bag found in the creek yesterday contains a human torso, and police are still searching for more remains.
The last place you'd expect to find evidence is directly in front of the suspect's home. But in bushland, right across from her house, were bags of Vonne McGlynn's body parts.
Currently on Roy and Randall at Morphle Vale. You know, you're under arrest for the murder of Vonne McGlynn.
Uh-huh.
Okay? So you have to come with us. Come around here. Your handbag in there. Your hands out at the front. Watch hands on the car. Here. No pockets in any of that?
No.
No.
Police made their arrest. They then searched her house on Scottsglade Road and took away more items for testing.
Police had Gavare exactly where they wanted her. No more lies, no more laughs, just a woman who killed for money. But not just killed, dismembered. In her own shed. This astonishing crime was making big news. And former prisoner officer Jennifer Cashow was watching it all unfold.
She bagged her up bit by bit and she popped those pieces into plastic bags into her child's stroller and walked them along the creek bed, disposing of them randomly. It's a pretty horrendous crime.
Bizarrely, it all took place on Gavare's 33rd birthday.
Good evening. Latvian immigrant and mother of two, Angelika Gavare, has begun serving a life sentence after being found guilty of murdering Ranella pensioner Vinay McGlynn.
In sentencing Angelika Gavare, Justice Trish Kelly described the murder of 83-year-old Mrs McGlynn as a crime in the worst category. Actions of a greedy, narcissistic and deceitful woman.
And so, in November 2011, Gavare set foot in Adelaide Women's Prison for the very first time. Now she starts each day at 7:30 and has to be back in her cell by 11 p.m. By all accounts, she keeps to herself, with few friends inside. But even Gavare couldn't keep all her secrets locked away forever.
I was approached by a former prisoner and she said to me, Gavare talked about the crime one night. And she said, we had a big storm. You remember the night? I said, yeah, I remember the night. She said it was after lights out and she told us what she'd done. She laughed about the blood splattering and dismemberment. And the biggest thing that she said to these women was they will never find the head and the hands. And I think it scared them. I think it rattled the girls. There was nothing going on behind those eyes. There was nothing. It was blank, it was black, it was dark. It was quite unnerving. Hair on the back of your neck would stand up on end.
Many would say anyone who gets pleasure from such a horrendous crime deserves every year of that life sentence. Adelaide Women's Prison will be her home until at least 2041.
I think she should never come out. I think the only place for her to be is prison. It's frightening to think that she could come out and potentially do it again if she chose the right victim.
Prisoners don't have much of a life inside. The only thing they have is time. Prisons have few home comforts, and most prisoners adapt to the life behind bars as best they can, even when it comes to relationships. And former inmate Kerry Tucker has seen it all.
You know, when it comes to women in prison, sex, it's rampant. It happened every minute of every day.
When you're doing night patrols and you're sighting your prisoners through the little windows at night, and you will see, you know, two prisoners having a little bit of special cuddles. How much of that was willing and how much wasn't, you'll never know. You never know.
Women that come in, and particularly the young girls, they're always up for the sex. The older women experiment and develop relationships with other women.
Many women coming into prison who come in heterosexual became lesbians with other female inmates. The reason, I believe, it was for the companion and the comfort more so than the sex.
And these are women whose husbands or partners will come in and visit them and they'll kiss their girlfriend on the way out to the visit. And they'll go out and then they'll kiss the boyfriend or the husband and want to hold hands and, you know, I love you, I miss you, and then go straight back into their girlfriend's arms. I don't think these men had any idea of what was going on inside the prison once they'd left the visit.
Now, by and large, the prison system does a decent job. We can all sleep well at night, knowing that the worst of the worst are off our streets. But the authorities don't always get it right. And when they don't get it right, it can have deadly consequences.
These are the last steps evil killer Sean Price will take outside jail, a place he should never have been allowed to leave.
Price was a psychopath with a lifetime of aggression and sexual violence. And he'd been in and out of prison most of his life. But he could never control the personal demons that lurked inside.
Because he'd warned us that he was going to do something. He told us that he was going to get somebody when he got out. He said, you watch what I do. I wish we'd give him hiding for that.
Up next, Sean Price. How did a dangerous ex-prisoner become a murderer?
When a person is put into the community under a supervision order, it makes you wonder what kind of supervision they're under. When he saw Marsha, he saw something beautiful and he wanted to destroy it.
I think what you did to me was very unfriendly and not very good for my rehabilitation.
Meet Sean Price, a 31-year-old with a history of serious sexual crimes.
You can't let darkness overcome you, all right?
But in March 2015, his savagery reached a whole new level. He murdered schoolgirl Marsha Vukotic in cold blood. In return, Sean Price now spends his days in this place. Barwon Prison is a maximum security facility in Geelong, Victoria. Home to some of the most dangerous men in the country. And among the 450 inmates, Price is one of the worst.
I first met up with him. I was working in the prison gym. I'd done a bit of boxing. Sean used to come up and he thought he could box. So I tried to get him to box with me one day and he wouldn't. And I thought it was just so typical, you know, they talk a big game and then, you know, you look at his record and it's mainly just innocent, you know, women or small people, and it's just, I can't respect that.
Professor James Ogloff knows Price better than anyone, having assessed him over many years.
Sean Price is a very complex individual who, as we know from his history, was particularly difficult upbringing, lots of abandonment, lots of behavioral disturbance from a very young age.
He was victimised as a child. Things like having cigarettes stubbed out on his face, and certainly his behaviour as an adult, I would say, bears that out. There are lots of convictions for stalking, for aggravated burglary, and then for rape.
So he was somebody who had this unpredictable, angry flavour to him. Sean was someone who very much saw himself as a victim, but he also had underlying mental illness. Early on, he'd been diagnosed with schizophrenia, so a very complex but damaging person.
If there's one word to sum him up, it's institutionalized, having jumped from prisons to hospitals his whole life. This is a man who just couldn't cope in the everyday world. Trouble is, by 2015, having done his crime and paid his time, he was out in the everyday world and placed on what they call a 10-year supervision order.
So when a person is put into the community under a supervision order, it makes you wonder what kind of supervision they're under. So unless they are living in a facility where they are supervised by staff, clearly these people aren't being as supervised as they could be.
I'd spoken to him when he was in the community, and he was really struggling.
To ask Sean Price to go and live in the community, control himself, take his medication, and report himself for supervision is a step beyond, many steps I would suggest, beyond what he's capable of.
By March 2015, he was living alone and bored. A ticking time bomb waiting to go off.
So he left early-ish on that morning, and he took with him a spare t-shirt and a kitchen knife. He certainly seems to have left the house with an idea that he might, at the very least, attack someone with that knife, and that he wanted to be able to change his shirt after he had done that. The criteria in his mind of the victim he was looking for, he wanted somebody who was rich in his mind, someone who was, I guess, privileged in his mind, the opposite of how he saw himself. I think he spent all day thinking about it, all day looking at people, which is really chilling to think about the number of people he sized up during that day and for whatever reason didn't choose. And then by the end of the day, he is in a park in suburban Melbourne in a neighbourhood that he perceives as being full of rich people. And he saw Marsha, and they really just crossed paths completely out of the blue.
Marsha Vukotic was a 17-year-old student who lived nearby, simply taking a break from studying.
And he said, it's got to be now or never. He realised he was running out of time. It had to be her. In his kind of psychosis, in the way that he sees the world, he said she looked like a fairy tale character, attracting birds. When he saw Marsha, he saw something beautiful, and he wanted to destroy it. He grabbed Marsha and he stabbed Marsha 49 times that day, concentrating on lethal places, he said, in her body, her throat, her chest, making sure that he didn't make a mistake. He was looking for a murder charge.
It was dusk. There were people around, and the neighbours heard Marsha's screams.
He knew full well that this was his ticket back inside, and that's the only place he knows how to live.
Price headed home as if it was just another day, but he wasn't done yet. He was getting ready for one awful final frenzy. On the 17th of March 2015, convicted sex offender Sean Price murdered Marsha Vukotic in cold blood. 2 days later, he was hungry for more.
In the hours before handing himself in, the 31-year-old allegedly went on a rampage, attacking a man, attempting to carjack a 77-year-old and sexually assaulting a woman.
There were a lot of people within corrections in Victoria and within the mental health system who had a terrible sense of knowing that he shouldn't have been back in the community.
And I remember the judge questioned how is it that he was actually in the community, and certainly with the benefit of hindsight, I would agree he shouldn't have been in the community.
Almost a year to the day that he took Marsha's life, he was sentenced to 38 years inside before any hope of parole.
Put on the Sunday best. We all got sins need to be confessed.
Sean Price remains locked up in high security
As far as these eyes can see,
at Victoria's Barwon prison.
nothing's gonna save you from the devil inside.
It was an angry man, angry towards staff, and you try and have a conversation with him and he would just threaten to kill you. Would he do it again? I don't know. But what I do know is that at the time when I dealt with him, he was a dangerous, very dangerous man.
So dangerous, in fact, that Price has been called one of the most dangerous prisoners in the Australian justice system. And who can argue with that?
Nothing's gonna save you from the devil inside.
There are 40,000 prisoners across the country, and with many of them locked up for life, the air is always thick with tension. But during COVID, with a lack of visitors and plenty of lock-ins, tension reached boiling point.
Place your hands through the hat. When they're locked in, they get angry, they get irritable, and they've got more time to be able to think about things that they want to do, which are negative things, they're not positive things. And so when you finally open up the wings, they're aggressive and they want to argue back, and then situations happen. Push, 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 push. If he comes on your end, shoot him. We had riots at Parklea, which was extremely hard.
In July 2021, at Parklea Prison in Sydney, 60 inmates went out of control, 14 of them making it onto the roof.
Inmates are coming at us with violence and with weapons. Weapons that are trying to burn the place down and trying to kill you. You know, your adrenaline is working in overdrive. Straight line, guys, give us cover.
In a 3-hour standoff, guards let off tear gas, pepper spray and rubber bullets.
Puffing from the front! We have to use force to gain compliance.
You had your fun at times.
So there was injuries to staff and there was injuries to inmates as well.
After $8 million worth of damage, the riot was done and dusted. It wasn't the first time there's been a riot inside. And with over 100 correctional facilities across Australia, housing the most dangerous prisoners this country's ever seen, it probably won't be the last. Vincent Stanford will spend the rest of his life in prison. Angelica Guevara can't apply for parole until 2041, and Sean Price, 2053. All three have many long nights ahead to ponder their evil crimes.
I generally believe that people should be rehabilitated and treated to the maximum amount possible, but I believe that some people are in a category where they're so dangerous and potentially such a risk to the community that that's not appropriate.
I believe everybody has a right to a second chance, but is she remorseful? Does she fully comprehend what she did, or does she still think that that was her right to take what she wanted? And will she come out at the other side of it if she's released with that same mindset?
I can't imagine a world in which Sean Price would ever receive parole. I honestly can't imagine a world in which he would apply for parole. I don't think he wants parole, and I think if he were threatened with parole, he would do something to derail it.